Kale.
Joe.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thanks. We thought today we would spend a little bit of time talking about things people can do to start the year off on the right foot.
Yes.
Number one, and we've talked about this in our newsletter, if you're a newsletter reader, but make sure your retirement account contributions are adjusted to take advantage of higher limits.
Yes. If you're currently maxing out the contribution limits to your 401k plan, 403b plan, 457 plan, federal savings plan.
Yep.
Pretty much everything.
Yep.
IRAs, everything have gone up. So if you're currently maxing them, you can make an adjustment to max them even further if you wish.
Yep. Outstanding. We also have increases in the catch-up contribution,
Yes.
which is nice.
If you're over 50, you can even put a little bit more into your plans.
So I think now somebody over 50 could put a maximum of $30,000 a year into their 401k, 403b, 457 as an employee deferral.
I'll have to take your word for that.
Yeah. Great.
You know what's exciting for me though?
What?
Well, not for me, but it is exciting to me, is the income phase-out ranges for IRAs and contribution limits for Roth IRAs have increased.
It's very
So
nice.
if you're kind of on the edge of being able to participate in those plans, but maybe just made a little bit too much money, you might want to recheck those limits, and you might be able to contribute in 2023.
What other things should people be aware of? Maybe the income limits for savers.
Yes,
Credit?
the Savers credit.
Yep.
The income limits have gone up for that as well, so you might get an extra little tax credit if you qualify.
Right.
Worth checking into.
So yeah, but all of the tax brackets have shifted in terms of what constitutes each bracket. So rates haven't gone down, but it's very likely that more of your income will be taxed at a different level. Let's move on to number two. So number one, check your contributions. Make sure those are where they should be so you can take full advantage. So number two.
How was the markets this year, Joe?
2022 was a rough year for the market.
But it wasn't too rough. Let's not get too negative.
Yeah.
It wasn't, there was no financial collapse. There was no COVID 33% down.
Right.
But with a few years of very high increases, it did seem, a little rough having some decrease in the markets this year.
Yeah, and what made 2022 unusual was that it was hard regardless of where you were invested in the market, stocks or bonds. You saw declines. Now, on the very positive side, it's unusual. I think it really hasn't happened that we've had back-to-back years of bond market losses. Now, that's not to say it couldn't happen in 2023, but we can, I think, be reasonably optimistic that the bond market in particular should have a better year than it did in 2023. So that's one thing to look forward to. Looking backward at some of the wins from 2022 can also be helpful. For example, did you establish new or better habits of saving? Did you do some financial planning? Do you feel like you're in a more focused situation in terms of your money going where it needs to go? So it's important to spend time considering what has gone well, what you've accomplished, and not just focus on the things outside of your control that didn't go the way you'd want, such as the performance of the market.
If you increase your savings rate, if you've done that this year, there's a pretty solid chance, no guarantees, but pretty solid chance that will do more for you in the future over a long time period than any damage that the stock market this year could have done to you.
Absolutely. For long-term investors, those are the things that make all the difference. So, excellent. What next? What do you think?
New Year's resolutions? What should we do? I don't like resolutions, but maybe goals. 2023 goals?
How about making some goals to get this year started on the right foot? For example, maybe finally create a will. It's very common that a lot of the people that we talk to, a lot of the folks we work with, may not have completed their estate planning, or maybe it was a long time ago that they created a will or other important legal documents. So
if it's been 20 years since you've seen your will, it might be a good time to pull it out, take a look at it, see if there's any revisions that need to be made.
Yeah, and for some people, maybe just finding it is a good start. So it's not uncommon. Someone will say, well, I don't even know where it is, or maybe my attorney has it. So finding and updating your estate planning documents is a very good goal. What else? What do you think could be helpful?
Maybe you can set up a bank account for your child to teach them some good money habits.
Yep. They say that a lot of what your kids learn, or a lot of their approach to money, is established pretty early in life. And so helping your kids, maybe it's setting them up with some kind of a small allowance. Anything that can help them learn, like you said, Kale, some kind of money management at a young age is pretty helpful. And finally, maybe the easiest thing is just to increase your savings amount, even by a little bit. If you're setting money aside in a workplace retirement plan and you're not maxing it out, bump it up 1% or even 0.5%. Do something there. Or if you're saving money in a brokerage account, maybe increase that by $50 or $100 a month. Just do something modest to build a little bit of strength into your financial plan.
That's great.
Well, I think that's good for today. All right, so remember that this is not intended to be investment advice. It's not a solicitation to buy or sell an investment product or security, not a recommendation to do the same. It's intended for educational purposes only. So please consult with your financial advisor.
Or your CPA.
Or in cases of tax issues, your CPA, or legal issues, your attorney.
Or a spiritual advisor.
You can always pray. Anyway, we hope this has been helpful and look forward to doing another video and many more in 2023. Happy New Year.